It's raining outside, Aslan. Oh shit. So I'm live on YouTube and Rumble at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't have to quit streaming on YouTube. Bro, apparently you can do 2 streams at once. So I'm live on Rumble and YouTube at the same time. All right, you go outside. But look, it's raining out. You're going to go out in the rain? I see none of the animals want to go in the rain. Oh, she's going out now. Chica, it's raining. Chica. Yeah, so I'm live on Rumble and YouTube at the same time. This is crazy. Oh my god, that idiot is going all the way out there. Chica! Chica! Come here! Come here! Come on. Come here. Come here. Oh yeah, you're all wet. I thought you would be. Oh, of course. Hold on.
Robertson was tapped since the PM because he has the know-how to cut through city red tape and get homes built faster. But few have forgotten when he was mayor.
So it says I have 0 viewers on YouTube. Let me see if I change this. Oh yeah, I do have 0 viewers. What quality is the stream at? Damn, the quality they put you at is 720p. That's pretty shitty quality. But I should have 1 viewer. I should have 1 viewer now, which is me. So let's see if it updates the viewer count up there. So yeah, I have a viewer count. Oh, it shows Rumble Studio. Okay. Interesting stuff. Let's see if it updates. Okay, Chica, we're live on Rumble. Rumble and YouTube, Chica. 2 places at once. Rumble Studio kind of sucks, but it has a lot of cool features. You can have people join. You can have people join your lives. That's pretty fucking cool. Ads. 1 last 30-day average viewership. Still says I have 0 viewers on YouTube. That's kind of weird. Stream settings. So they don't let you adjust the quality. Oh my god. Oh fuck. There's water. Shit's weird. I think the live viewer count is broken because it shouldn't be saying 0 on YouTube. Let's test the chat feature. Test. Right. Yeah, the chat doesn't show up. It shows me like a little notification. Oh no, it does show up. It doesn't show up for me on my phone, but it shows up there. All right. Cool, I guess. Too bad it's raining. I can't really do a live stream. Let's just do like a walk around my building. I might actually disconnect if I do this, but that's fine. Let's go to the laundry room. That one's out of power. I don't know why the viewership count doesn't update though. Fuck. Not even on there. Is it not even fucking on there? Fuck. There, that's fair. I finally.
And so apparently there's news about Joe Biden. Where is the information about Joe Biden? Aggressive form of prostate cancer. The thing is, like, you can live with prostate cancer for a really long period of time, and he's like way past the age where they're going to be able to operate on it. My dad's around this age, and so like he and I have had this conversation about people that he knows and everything. And so like it's aggressive. Yeah, I mean it's aggressive, but like I still don't know if that. Let's go grade 9, grade 5.
Fuck, why is the GDP
Wouldn't wish cancer on anybody. I mean, at the end of the day, he was the president. He served 50 years as a public servant, and it's sad. He was actually one of the youngest public servants when he was elected. I think it was about 400 years ago. The fact that, like, the end of his legacy was him being paraded around like a corpse. Everybody's making fun of him. Like, this is the grand finale. So this TikToker is now in prison for life. So let's call her Fake Barbie, because that's what she calls herself. And Fake Barbie is 24, and she's a mom living in Bristol in England. And one day, she decides she's going to start an OF account and start working from home selling spicy pictures and videos of herself. And she does it under the name Fake Barbie. And about a year goes by. Fake Barbie does all right in her first year. Like, she makes about 50,000 pounds, or about 65,000 US dollars. But as time goes on, the OF space gets more and more saturated, and Fake Barbie's OF income decreases more and more. And now she just isn't bringing in the money that she used to. And this drop in income is stressful for Fake Barbie. I mean, nobody wants to feel that. Now, Fake Barbie has a long-term boyfriend. This guy, Brad. Brad's 22. And he and Fake Barbie, they've been together for like 7 years or so. They have 3 kids together. And Brad is not only supportive about her spicy account, but he actually helps her make the content. He's like, yo, let's get that bag, girl. Here's the thing, though. As stable as all this sounds, Fake Barbie and Brad haven't always had the healthiest relationship. I mean, they fight all the time. They sort of break up a lot and they get back together a lot. And often Fake Barbie feels like Brad is very controlling, especially with the money she's been making on the OF. Plus, they're both allegedly cheating on one another all the time. So, that's never good. Not only that, but she has a TikTok account. And on that TikTok account, she mostly posts videos of her and her kids, but sometimes she, makes videos clowning Brad publicly. Me with his homeboy, when I find out he cheats, played the Tinder notification, and he passed, obviously, and she puts the knife emoji. So yeah, Fake Barbie is not only a little nutty, but she has serious anger issues. And it's not like she's hiding these issues that well. Listen to this voicemail she left on a friend's phone talking about Brad.
Honestly, I have no limit when I get angry, and obviously he said
I'll tell you, young punk, I thought you had. What's that? Oh, machete. Oh, now we're talking. They're probably just going to crumble apart. Yeah, you can see it if you want. Ain't that crazy? They're just random stuff. You know, I mean, it's trash.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
No, it's not. The next one's treasure. Oh my God. My bro. Yeah, I always select the knife, but that thing is too gone for me to keep. No. You gotta fix it up. Oh my God. You just make my oh my God. I got the perfect I bet you know what you had. You ever play Uno? Uno? Yeah. You play again? Not really. But you know what again? Yeah. I feel like you bought food on him. Haha, stupid bitch. You ever play Extreme Uno? I play Extreme Uno with my boss in the right university and I'm friends. Bitch, listen. Extreme Uno? You have 2 parts in it. 1 part. Time, you can make up the whole rule. Wait. You know the like this. Right, now you look at it. Just so you are. I am American. I said no, dumber. I'm taking that rule for you. I'm not a rule for you. It's a bond line. Why do you like it, man? What, man? No disrespect. This is a treasure, bro. Everything is a treasure, man. Bro, listen to me. Another person's trying to no man's treasure. I am here. Oh, God, it's nothing spice, nothing big. I can spot the f*** of somebody they want to do this. What did you say? God, you make me sick. Whoa! Whoa! I got that shopping. I'm about to shop and it's in my bed. I wasn't there. I go to this. I'll tell you.
Walmart is about to be slammed by the Trump administration. And how do I know that? Well, they're admitting that their prices are going to have to go up for the obvious reason: the tariffs that Donald Trump has needlessly put into effect. And so they're warning people in advance that prices are going to rise. It goes all the way to the top. Walmart CEO Doug McMillon said to analysts on an earnings call We will do our best to keep our prices as low as possible, but given the magnitude of the tariffs, even at the reduced levels announced this week, we aren't able to absorb all the pressure given the reality of narrow retail margins. And Walmart said that the price hikes will begin later this month. It wasn't just the CEO, by the way. The finance chief, John David Rainey, also doubled down in an interview about this, saying, "I'm concerned that consumers are going to start seeing higher prices. You'll begin to see that, likely toward the tail end of this month, and then certainly much more in June. Much more." Now, look, I don't know if that means that the price hikes will become significantly higher or way more products will have price hikes at all, but it's sounding like the next 2 months are going to be really rough. And let's bear this in mind. Some of you may not use Walmart. It's a big corporation. I understand that our viewership probably tries to avoid Walmart, Amazon, that sort of thing. But it's also like, in some places, it's the only place to buy stuff in some areas. They've already killed all the mom and pop places. And so for millions and millions of Americans, these price hikes aren't a thing that you can avoid by going somewhere else. It's literally just, you have to pay it. And so you're effectively taking a big pay cut. And that's this month. It's going to millions of Americans. These price hikes aren't a thing that you can avoid by going somewhere else. It's literally just, you have to pay it. And so you're effectively
Longtime Diddy associates have spent months cozying up to Trump officials to lay groundwork for clemency pleas. What do you think the odds are of this one happening? 50-50? It is so. It's crazy to me. Listen, I'm gonna just come out and say it. Okay, if you're a Trump supporter and in your mind you're thinking like, okay, I think Trump is doing good things, but you're thinking that like in spite of the field goal. Like, okay, despite the Epstein and all of that business, all the obvious about Trump, like, you still think the broader policy, whatever, you hate democracy, okay. How do you excuse, man? It's like every single time the person gets accused of or found guilty of something.
I saw these pictures over the weekend of HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on a Mother's Day hike with family. And he was taking a dip with his grandchildren in Rock Creek Park in Washington, D.C. Now, they used to live right near that park. And when I saw this, my first thought was, oh, that's amazing. They finally cleaned up Rock Creek. Because I remember walking through that area on hot days and wishing I could dip into the water, but it was notoriously polluted and unsafe with high levels of E. coli. In fact, raw sewage spills directly into the creek. Alas, they have not cleaned up the water in Rock Creek Park. It is still so contaminated the government bans swimming in the creek, as it has since 1971. Combined sewage overflow, never words you want to see, that's its own sign. But this country's top health official doesn't appear to really believe that germs make you sick, so he took his grandkids swimming in that stuff. Dr. Peter Hook is professor of pediatrics and the dean of the National School of Tropical Medicine at Baylor.
This man is truly a genius. I found a trick that changed how I cook chicken.
I would have never thought of peeling chicken, so let's see how genius this man is.
Take one frozen chicken breast and grate it using a peeler.
Here goes my Saturday afternoon. Not only does the frozen block of meat hurt my hand, it also takes forever to peel. This man is not a genius, bro. He's just unemployed. But I sharpened it like a spear, so I can stab and kill him, and then eat the chicken. It's the perfect crime.
Then grate 2 potatoes and 1 onion the same way, and put everything into a bowl.
Now that we're done with whatever that was, I start peeling this potato, and this feels right. This peels right. I'll just chop that in. I don't feel like bawling my eyes out right now.
200 grams of mozzarella cheese.
200 grams of mozzarella cheese.
Add 1 egg.
Add 1 egg.
Oregano, salt, and black pepper.
Oregano, salt, black pepper.
Mix everything really well.
I think I've seen people on Instagram make food for their dogs the exact same way.
Heat a bit of oil and 1 tablespoon of butter.
A bit of oil and 1 tablespoon of butter.
mixture into the pan and spread it evenly with a spoon.
Pour the mixture into the pan and spread it evenly with a spoon.
Cover and cook for 15 minutes.
Cover and cook for 15 minutes.
Then flip it using a plate, return it to the pan, and cook for another 10 minutes.
I ain't using no plate. I'm gonna flip it by using the flip the wrist.
You fucked up.
Sprinkle parsley on top for extra flavor.
Yeah, because that parsley's gonna save this. Honestly, this doesn't look that bad. Let's give it a taste and rate on poutine. It tastes like a hash brown that's also a chicken pot pie. The peeled chicken got so thin, just dispersed into the mixture. So it's kind of like a high protein potato pancake. I guess this man is a genius. 8.5 out of 10. We should give it a try. Alright, thank you.
This man is truly a genius. I found a trick that changed how I cook.
That is whale meat. What kind of whale? It's called a pilot whale. So this is a very controversial food on the Faroe Islands. This is something that they've been doing for hundreds of years. Have you heard about this? No. Fantastic. The whaling they do there is far different from the whaling that you're going to see in a place like Japan, because they're not going out to sea. Their method of getting the whales is never going to lead to their extinction. The whales populate the Atlantic, and the Faroe Islands is just a tiny, small collection of 18 islands in the middle of the Atlantic between like Scotland and Iceland, and they got 50,000 people. So when a pod of whales comes by and somebody spots them, they'll get some boats together and try to guide them to one of the bays. You could be in your corporate job, and then you could get a phone call, hey, the whales are here, let's go. I went to the most normal family's home ever, and I did a fridge tour, and it was like, oh, here's a whale that we got from earlier this year. We got over 300 pounds. The amount of meat you get depends on how much you help out. They have a very detailed system for how to allocate the meat. What? Oh my god. That is whale meat. What kind of whale? It's alleged that 19-year-old male was operating a Dodge minivan, initially traveling eastbound 401, exited the off-ramp facing Greenwood Drive. At the same time, there was a minivan with a family of 4 children and 2 adults stopped at a red light on Brentwood Drive. It's alleged the Dodge Caravan was traveling at a high rate of speed, lost control, went over the race median, collided with the minivan that was stopped. Unfortunately, on scene, 2 of the children, 15-year-old and a 13-year-old, was pronounced deceased on scene. The 3rd child was transported to a nearby trauma center and pronounced deceased.
For massive deals.
You have a contract with, I will help you right now, $3 million. But then entire company.
To brutal beatdowns.
Mark, are you allergic to positive, negative ions?
No, I'm allergic to scams. Seriously, this is not new. It's been disproven. It's a joke. It's a scam. It's not real. Hold on.
And crazy crash outs.
I would take an offer from anybody besides what's wrong.
Yeah. Worst presentation ever.
Oh, that was me.
For many, Shark Tank is the best show on TV, and it's easy to see why. It has a predictable yet entertaining format with plenty of drama, suspense, and jaw-dropping moments that leave you glued to your screen, something that's apparent from their views on YouTube alone. What most people don't realize, however, is that beneath the show's spectacle lies a world of manipulation, exploitation, and life-threatening scams. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be doing a deep dive into the dark underbelly of Shark Tank. Everything wrong with the show, its sharks, and the contestants. Now, some of these missteps can be chalked up to nothing but mistakes, but as you'll see by the end of this video, a few of them were deliberate offenses that ended up ruining lives.
We wiped out our business bank account. There was about $100,000 in there at the time, and he mailed us a check for $8,000.
For those who haven't seen the show before, Shark Tank is a reality TV show where aspiring entrepreneurs pitch their business idea to a panel of wealthy investors known as sharks, in hopes of securing a life-changing deal. The show first premiered in 2009 as the American adaptation of the Japanese show Tigers of Money.
国籍ファーストフードのお店をしたいと思っています。
The same Japanese show inspired the UK's Dragon's Den as well. While the concept was quite similar, the mere idea of someone potentially making it big thanks to the shark's investment was surprising adaptation, which was also tuned in for every episode to see what creative ideas or products contestants would bring up.
In the 80s, there was the Rubik's Cube. Now introducing the toy of the future.
The American version also cut down the hours of boring business negotiations into a more fast-paced, high-stakes back and forth between the sharks and the entrepreneurs. This helped Shark Tank gain mass appeal, making it more and more popular with each new season. However, despite its immense popularity, the show has some glaring flaws that are impossible to overlook. For starters, the sharks aren't nearly as shrewd as they claim to be. Sure, they have the business know-how to sometimes land massively successful deals, like the Scrub Daddy.
Take the Scrub Daddy. You're going to see it's just going to attack right into that burn-on mess, scrubbing it right off. And remember, I'm just using water here. There's no chemicals at all. And it's going to cut right through that. It won't scratch any of your surfaces, but it will clean them beautifully. Now, Scrub Daddy's not really smiling anymore, so I'm going to put it here in the warm water. In just a couple seconds, voila, he's back to bright, fresh, and clean every time.
Lori Greiner invested over $200,000 for a 20% stake in the company, and it's paid off.
I'll go to 20.
We got a deal.
Got a deal.
Right.
Good.
Way to go, Aaron. Woo!
Congratulations.
Thanks, Lord. I'm so excited.
Scrub Daddy became a bigger success than Lori could have ever imagined. By 2024, it had already sold over $700 million worth of products. Unfortunately, for a show about experienced rich business people making smart investments, Scrub Daddy is a rare exception rather than the rule. There are the odd successes here and there, but so many more investments crumble the moment the publicity from a Shark Tank appearance fades away. However, even more frustrating than the failed deals are the ones that all the sharks rejected, only for those companies to explode in popularity and to prove them all wrong. Like the Lip Bar, a company selling colourful and bright lipsticks. During their pitch, none of the sharks showed any interest in the company, assuming that it would not succeed. Kevin O'Leary even went as far as calling one of the founders cockroaches for what he thought was a terrible idea.
You can't get share. If anybody thought you could sell purple or green lipstick, they do it. They already have the shelf space. They just add another color. And they would crush you like the colorful cockroaches you are. You only have so many minutes on Earth. Don't waste them trying to sell lipstick. I'm out.
While Kevin couldn't have been more wrong, not only is the lip bar still in operation with millions of units sold since their inception, other investors saw the potential that the sharks overlooked, allowing the company to raise a grand total of nearly that the Sharks overlooked, allowing the company to raise a grand total of nearly $16 million in funding. However, the lip bar and every other missed opportunity pales in comparison to arguably the biggest fumble in Shark Tank history. Ring. Back in 2013, a company named Doorbot received its chance to shine on Shark Tank. The founder spent the last $20,000 in his pocket to prepare an elaborate set for his pitch on the show. More importantly, the product he was offering also seemed like quite the innovation. It was one of the first smart doorbells in the world, allowing people to easily see who was at the door before opening it.
Introducing the Doorbot, the first ever video doorbell built for the smartphone. With Doorbot, you can see and speak with visitors from anywhere.
Jamie, the Doorbot's creator, was quite confident in his product and came in with the mindset of getting a deal. However, this confidence faded away quickly when the Sharks failed to see the potential in his company and started dropping out like flies.
I just don't think it's for me. I don't know. If you're pricing at $199, that price point is going to start dropping quickly as your volumes go up. For that reason, I do that. This company is going to be worth $7 million, can be worth $80 million, $90 million. I just don't see that progression, and for that reason,
If Jamie had listened to the Sharks, he would have believed his product was worthless and abandoned the idea altogether. But he trusted his vision and kept pushing forward, rebranding the company to Ring along the way. Then, in 2018, something happened that none of the Sharks saw coming. Ring was acquired by Amazon for a whopping $1 billion. Ring also went on to become the reason for over 20% of American homes having a video doorbell in 2023, compared to just 4% in 2017. Put simply, Ring became a bigger success than any of the Sharks ever gave it credit for. As a comment on YouTube pointed out, craziest part of all of this is a few seasons later, he was a guest on Shark for a few episodes. Don't let a few people who don't understand your vision decide your fate. In the end, Jamie likely had no regrets about how things played out. But what if he actually landed a deal? Well, there's a good chance that nothing would have changed, because, as it turns out, many of the deals you see on the show don't actually happen. This might sound unbelievable, but it's true. There are so many examples of deals that happen on air only to fall apart after the cameras have stopped rolling. One of the most common reasons behind these failed deals is, sadly, the Sharks' greed. Take Show No Tell, for example. Shelley appeared on Shark Tank in March of 2013 with her 2 children to pitch her idea for a new type of beach or water park towel. Her invention allowed kids to run around and have fun without the risk of dropping the towel. After hearing about her struggle after the 2008 recession and the passion she put into this project, Lori agreed to a deal.
I think I see a ton of me in you. I love your drive. I love your passion. I relate to you. I've been on QVC for 14 years, and I know what it takes to. I started making everything by hand. I like you so much that actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to write you a check right now.
She got Shelley a check of $75,000 for 25% equity, $25,000 more than she had originally asked for. This is a dream scenario for any Shark Tank contestant, the best outcome they could hope for. But for Shelley, what seemed like an act of kindness from Lori ultimately cost her the entire business. Because after the camera stopped rolling, Lori went back on her words almost immediately. She changed the deal and started asking for a lot more equity in the business. Shelley had to decline the new offer, resulting in a loss her business never recovered from. This isn't an isolated example either. There are many other companies that never received the cash they were promised on the show for similar reasons. That said, going back on deals is far from the worst thing the Sharks have done to some contestants.
It's been a nightmare. I can't put it any more succinctly,
In December of 2013, former American football player Al Baker went on Shark Tank to secure an investment for his struggling business.
I'm Alabama Baker from Avon, Ohio, owner of the Debone Baby Back Rib Steaks. I'm seeking $300,000 in exchange for 15% equity in my company.
Things went surprisingly well for Al. The Sharks loved his ribs, and he ended up walking away with a deal with Damon John. But before he had the chance to celebrate this victory with his family, things took a turn for the worst. At first, things looked fine on the surface. The business stayed operational for many years, with Damon parading it as a multi-million-dollar success. However, in 2023, an LA Times article came out in which Elle and his family talked about the struggles they had to face ever since signing with Damon on Shark Tank. It started with Damon changing the terms of the deal from $300,000 for 30% to just $100,000 for 35%. Depended on this deal, stating, "You're in that environment, you're not asking a whole lot of questions. It's Damon to John. My wife and daughter would have killed me if I said I wasn't signing this." Unfortunately, this was only the beginning of Elle's hardships. Shortly after he agreed, depended on this deal, stating, "You're in that environment, you're not asking a
Fuck, man.
Get out of the car, Nick! Hey, cancel backup. He's one of us. Bit of a speed demon, huh? Sorry, officer. Dude. You should have seen your face. Well, I need your ID now for protocol, of course. Get you out of here quick, man. Okay. Coming up. Yep. You sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Coming up. You already said that. Here you are. It says Jones. I'm sorry. Can I get an ancestry check in the last name Jones? It's coming back as 102% African, with a 2% margin of error. Yeah, I thought so. What the fuck, man? I'm sorry. I make jokes with you. I laugh with you, man. I know. You're black. Damn. You're clearly black. And this get-up you have on, it's not even believable. Be truthful, man. You were gonna shoot me. Yeah, I was planning on it, yeah. Fuck! Get out of the car. Come here. Come here. Come here. Wait! Your last name's Jones, too! And you're black! This officer's black! Stop it! He's black! Stop that! Get in the car and go your separate ways. No.
Johnny Somali threatened the judge and his mother.
First thing, let's recap where we left off.
Shout out North Korea. Shout out Pyongyang. Shout out Kim Jong-un. That's my nigga till the day I die. National Intelligence Security Charge. Does anybody know what the that means?
With the current official charges, he's facing a decade in prison.
What's your relationship with North Korean communists? I said, right to remain silent.
Honestly, Japan should have arrested him for his own good. Because he would have only had to spend 7 years in Japan. And now, by the time this is over, bro, this guy's grandchildren are going to be serving a sentence in Korea.
What Johnny said about the judge.
It's always a really good idea when you're in an active court case to talk shit about the judge.
They are not there yet.
He's starting off strong, huh? Oh my god, this is amazing. Who is this guy?
And mind you, the judge definitely has seen this.
The judge, the prosecutor, you have to suck my...
What a retard. What is wrong with you? When is enough, man?
Yeah, suck my soft, causing anxiety.
Suck my... Bro.
Tell the judge you can suck my...
So, telling the judge to suck your... This is a... I don't think this usually works, guys.
The fish to your mother's house, dude.
Threaten... I'm gonna carry a fish to your mother's house, and he says this to the judge. Bro. How did you let him do this? What are you doing?
Why isn't Johnny Somali currently arrested in South Korea? Well, South Korea apparently operates very differently, especially when it comes to foreigners. Apparently, they don't want to spend the taxpayers' money on taking care of Johnny. They want to put that burden on himself. So now, Johnny essentially is homeless. He is now a burden to Hank and Hank's family because Hank thinks it's a good idea to continue to pay for him, even though it's destroying his life as well, because he's being supported by his family, and his family is threatening to cut that off because he keeps on funneling that money back to Johnny. Why would you ever destroy your own life and ruin your standing with your own family over Johnny? This is clearly someone who's only using him because he has no options left. In an interview, they actually... What kind of music do you like?
I have no musical ability at all.
Oh, okay.
So if you have something very entry level in drill,
Entry-level drill?
yeah, I might be able to say something.
I could try some drill.
I left my house the other day to go buy Pokemon packs. Instead of sitting at home and sleeping like a Snorlax. But when I got home, no packs were left. The scalpers bought them like intellectual theft. Why when I go to a store to get cards, none are there? Because here are people on the internet selling them like they're wares. All these scalpers making the hobby hard. I'm just trying to play Pokemon cards. Please. I just want to be in the hobby, but I can't because people keep selling them to make money. Everywhere I go, people are selling prices really high. I'm just trying to play Pokemon, and I can't, and I want to know why. Someone explain to me, when a car gets made for kids, you go buy them so they can't play with them. Can someone please tell the Pokemon people that are in charge, when they get back to the office, send Tony Weaver Jr. some cards?
What kind of music do you like?
I have no...
Brother, you know what time it is? It's 3:40. What you just do? Nothing. What? What you mean? What you mean? What you just do? What you mean? What you just do with your phone? Nothing. Huh? Nothing. You see your phone real quick, bro? Turn it on. Why just? What you just do? You try to scam my phone? No, I would never. Huh?
What did you do?
I tapped it. Tap to pay.
Why did you pay her?
She paid me.
Why?
$20 donation. It's a small fee. Just for being in my presence, you know?
No, you should refund her. Why did you take the money?
Refund?
Well, what did you take the money for? What are you doing?
I gave it back. Or he took more. I don't know. One of those two.